Hi there, my name is Wicked with Doom Guild, NeverWinter PS4. Here I want to bring you my Control Wizard loadout. I am right about 39 item level. We've got a couple Dragonflight pieces from the Doom Stronghold here. We just got to level 7, I think it is, and doing really good. So either way, let's get into this. Of course, you guys probably most part know Control Wizard's kind of comparable with your Great Weapon Fighter in that you are primarily a crit-based build. Having said that, I have heard, I think, too many people out there going straight for crit, and it I try to tell them, in the long run, you want to have a well-even balance between your crit and your power, of course. Therefore, I do rock a couple Radiants on my Radiants and Brutals on my character for the extra power. If you're doing 70% critical of 18,000 power, that's all well indeed. But if I can do 60% crit of over 22,000 power, or with my bonding's proc, then I'm up over 40,000 power. I would much rather have that bigger base and take a little bit less crit. It's gonna by far help you in the long run. Getting those bigger numbers, your critical is always based off of your base power. So to get that up, you got to get your power up. So having said that, I think you can kind of try balancing it. Maybe go straight as yours here for a little while until you get your enchantments up. Then you can maybe switch, throw a couple Radiants in there, and then what I'm doing now is I'm slowly kind of taking some Radiants away, and I'm getting some Brutals up there. Brutals are quite expensive, so it's gonna take a little while. I'll just eventually get my Azures up, sell my Azures, and trade them in for Brutals, and we'll switch over there. But that's all, down the road, looking about my 4K item levels, probably what I'll be reaching for there. So either way, let's get into this powers. Now, as far as my my general loadout, you're always going to want to have Conduit of Ice, whether you're in your trash mob Malbog's dungeon, or whether you're in Master Demo or something with your more single target ranged attacks. You're going to want Conduit of Ice. Always having that in your R1 spot is putting the chill on the enemies as well. Plus it increases the size of your AoE, and anybody getting hit by your AoE is getting chill added to them. So you're kind of almost getting 2 powers out of 1 with the AoE and the chill. Anytime you can get chill on your Control Wizard, out of your Control Wizard, that's what you're going for. And this, here's one of the reasons why. With one of your actives, Chilling Presence, increase the damage you deal by 2% for each stack of chill on your target. And most targets will freeze at 6 stacks of chill. So with this active, for each stack of chill, I'm getting 2, 4, 6, 8% damage increase. So at 6 stacks of chill, I'm getting about, I would calculate that into 48% damage increase, and that's kind of what I'm basing that off of. I also run Storm Spell, shocking your target 30% of the time on critical attacks. And what that actually looks like is you'll see just some random spurts of looks like lightning bolt shooting down, and that is strictly that daily. 30% every time I get a critical, I get a 30% chance to, you know, get that extra lightning strike. Huge difference, huge increase in your numbers, and you'll really want that. So that'll be your 2 dailies, Chilling Presence and Storm Spell. Icy Terrain, also huge. You're gonna want to have that. That is probably your single most important encounter power. It is going to put the most amount of chill on an enemy at the fastest pace, while slowing them down, keeping them out of your hair. We do put off, as control wizards, do put off a massive amount of threat, and so you will go into some instances where you may have a little tank that's 400 or 500 item level behind you, and you will actually find yourself pulling adds off of them. Not what you want to see per se, but that's, you know, so get in there, you know, get in there next to your tank, put that ice down next to him, help him hold the enemies, and you know, you're going to be more than a DPS. You got some crowd control with you, so go ahead and get it in there and, you know, help your group. I got myself strictly to where I am benefiting me and my group by going in there. You know, with having that said, you also want to steal time, another huge one. Disintegrate, I will run this most of the time. I will switch Disintegrate, which I have in my triangle right there. I will switch that for Sudden Storm to get the extra if I'm dealing with just trash mobs. You can go there. Now say I want to go to Master Demo. I will actually, to step back, you know, you got your tank up there taking the aggro, so you shouldn't be dealing as much threat, excuse me. So I will actually replace Icy Terrain with Cold Strike, and I will come down here and take Rave Enfeeblement, which is going to lower my target's damage mitigation, allow me to, you know, more damage in. So I will take that with swap time, and then at that point I can literally stand way back here and get everything that I need to in. And it takes a little while longer. It took me a full rotation to get a big 200,000 hit. Now it's just stacking. Now I'm up to 230, and it just keeps, you know, as long as you're keeping that chill up, your numbers are going to stay up. And but having this single target ability also, you know, in your arsenal is going to allow you to, you know, basically get away from Master Demo, get back, stay back by the blue portal, make sure you're staying cleansed. You don't want to be popping extra ads out for the rest of your group to have to deal with. So just being mindful of your situation and taking the proper loadout in for the proper event that you're in. That's how I will run my single target ranged dungeons. And Icy Terrain we'll put back on. Steal Time, put back on, and I'll show you a little bit of what Sudden Storm will do here instead of Disintegrate. Sudden Storm I do kind of have an issue with. Sometimes it will miss-hit. I'll fire it there. See, I did get a 60 and a 20. So it's, I am getting 100,000 per hit. Although Sudden Storm, it should hit multiple enemies, and it's not always there. I'm not sure what it is. It's not because I don't have no arcane mastery or nothing like that. It's just I don't know, just one of those finicky powers that it's I don't know, if a little bit of hair lag or something. It just, see, a couple good 80,000s there, but I just I don't know, I just kind of feel like it's not always working at its best. So that's a lot of times I will just stick with Disintegrate, even though in my trash mob loadout. And I think that you will come to find out that that's the best way to go. Another new move I have gone back to. Let's see, I used to run Oppressive Force as my secondary daily all the time. It is a great number. It does daze a lot of enemies. Does do quite a bit of damage. What I have found now is I'm not sure if it has just been changed in prior updates or what, but I've actually gone back to Maelstrom of Chaos and Ice Knife. Ice Knife being your single target, Maelstrom being your group. And what that is doing, it is the Maelstrom of Chaos. I don't know if it's just unknown or what, but what you don't want to just go out there and pop your daily just because it's ready. You want to make sure you have good stacks of chill on everything, and then you pop that down, pop your Maelstrom of Chaos. See, and that was really just kind of a bunk hit. Let me pop my artifact, get my daily back up here. I have been in numerous instances where I may have like 6-8 ads around me. I get them all frozen with my chill, and I'll pop that Maelstrom of Chaos, and I'll hit each of those ads for anywhere from 180 to 350,000 just on those ads, and it really just clears that group out of there. But keeping in mind, you want get your arcane mastery up, get your cold spikes on them, get your I don't personally run with any other lightning to get my lightning chill on them. As one of your feats will show, there is I do get elemental reinforcement when you cast fire, arcane, lightning, or cold and encounter powers. You gain 5% increased damage for 10 seconds. Each element is applying this separately, and so what that means is my cold based, my arcane based, and my lightning based. I am not down the fire side, so I don't have that to implement. But if I get my cold and my arcane on there, that's 10% because I just stacked 2. Getting my lightning out there is gonna give me another 15 seconds of lightning. So I should be up to 15% damage just increased just off that one feat. So it's really kind of huge, and it's going to play in partial to the rest of how we put the rest of our feats in. So looking at this, you're definitely going to want to take your critical chance. Going to want to get that as high as possible. We are a crit build, so need that up there. Also, we are kind of a glass cannon. We do put off a massive amount of threat. So you're going to want to... I personally think that everybody should be filling these 3 boxes with your max hit points. Maybe if you're Typhling or something, you can get away with just putting 2 in there. That's fine. Do what you think's best there. I personally will take all these and take 1 less here in the action point gain. But then again, either one of these is okay. Definitely not what you want to be going for. It's just going to be, to your liking. If you can't get enough recovery out of your gear, maybe you want to throw a couple powers in here just to help you get your cooldowns fast. My recovery is quite high, so I don't really have an issue. By the time I get through 1 loadout, thrown at will or 2, I'm already ready to go again with another rotation. So I'm good to go there. Don't need to worry. Area of effect powers, Wizard's Wrath, 3% more damage, kind of a no-brainer. Anytime you're increasing your damage, you're doing better. Arcane enhancement and blighting power, you really kind of just got to watch. I would say out of the 2, if you're not human, say you're Typhling and you're missing 3 points, maybe take 1 or 2 away from arcane. Definitely keep, I've played with these, I've gone away from cold, and I've gone away from arcane. Having the cold there was definitely the most beneficial. Anybody affected by chills taking an extra 6% damage is kind of a no-brainer. You gotta have this one. But you got to. Another one I do like, you and your allies gain 3% increased stat rating. And so, you know, and a lot of my other bigger DPSs in my guild, they kind of gotten to a point where they're getting, you know, they're getting spoiled. The Hymen, they're buffing them. The clerics, and they're buffing them. Half the time the tank's buffing them. And so they kind of look, they're starting to look at my control wizard as more of that extra third support role, to, you know, get the buffs, as well as I'm staying right up there with them on damage. And so I'm able to increase the guys in my party. I'm able to increase their stats while increasing my own. So it's just kind of a, you know, a no-brainer. You're kind of almost needed there. Increased learn spellcaster. Increase the amount of bonus damage intelligence gives you. I have played with this a little bit and kind of gone away from it now. I don't really see the 5% equivalating to much in the long term. I'm not sure if there's just something missing on it or not. But either way, I've kind of gone away from it. Definitely focus wizardly. You're gonna want this if you are over 3k item level, and I say that, you know, I say that with meaning. If you're under 3k, you're probably not gonna want to short your powers. You're gonna want to keep your damage on your steel time and your icy terrain. So you don't want to take a reduced numbers there, because, you know, at the lower levels you're dealing with a lot of trash mobs and not single target big bosses. So you're not really going to need this until you get over the 3k item level. And it kind of gives you some more, you know, by that time you got a little bit more defense, lifesteal, and you're more equipped to handle it. So once again, if you're over 3k, take focus wizardly. It is a must in your bigger master demo, stuff like that. Anywhere you're a single target. Pre-data station I did, you know, and like I mentioned, it does, anytime I join a party, I will give everybody in my party an instant 3% more addition to their stats, whatever they may be having. I'm adding 3%. So if they have 20,000 power, I think that equates to about 600 more power I'm giving them just by joining the group. So, you know, that's that one to me. I really like this one over the Learn Spellcaster. I just think the more you can give yourself and spread it out amongst your group, the better everyone will be. And trust me when I say that, you know, I do have a couple of warlocks that like to have me just tag it along just for that extra bonus that I give, you know, I bring to the table. In your Thaumaturge, I have a hard time with that one. When your target is below 30%, you deal an additional 5% damage. Kind of a no-brainer. Need to take that one. Malevolent Surge. When you kill a foe, 5% more damage for the next 15 seconds. Pretty big. And you know, as I will be just disintegrating little trash mobs, and so that seems to be up all the time. Spell twisting, pretty much the same thing. When you're using your counter powers, you're stacking the spell twisting up, and then while you're waiting for your cooldowns, you're popping your at wills, which is going to consume the spell twisting and give you a little bit extra damage, and take some cooldown off of your encounters to get them up faster, which is always what you're wanting to primarily do. Elemental reinforcement, another huge one. Huge. I cannot express this one enough. When you cast a fire, arcane, cold, or lightning encounter power, you gain 5% increased damage for 10 seconds. Each element may apply this bonus separately. And so if I have, you know, an arcane power and say a cold power there, that's two separate elements I have just thrown out there. See, and let's even throw a Maelstrom of Chaos, get some lightning in there. Now we got 3, so that's just between the 3 elements. I'm already doing an increase 15%, and that's just off of that 1 feat. And so you start to see how all of these 5% here, 5% there, 5% with, you know, with chill. They're all starting to really just add up, and it's kind of what, you know, sets you apart, and will bring you'll be able to control your ads while staying up on the DPS, right there with the Great Weapon Fighters and the Warlocks and everybody else. Dealing damage, elemental empowerment. This is also pretty big. Creeping Frost. Pretty self-explanatory on what it's, you know, what it's doing. Just an extra damage. Azalea Force, definitely the control paragon super, I guess you could say, that you're going to want to have. You're always, you know, you're always looking to increase your numbers. Renegade, it's good, but yeah, no. Thaumaturge is definitely where you're going to want to be. Up in Oppressor or Bitter Cold, targets take an additional 5% more damage for 6 seconds after being affected by chill. So then, you know, here we are gaining another 5. Well, we gained 5 down here, and we gained 3 here, and we gained this damage are affected, so we're gaining 6 here, 5 here. So, you know, you're basically adding all these percentages up, everything having its own little stack, and so these will all be proccing at different times, but basically the more time you can get your bonus damage up, that's what we're looking for, right? So, and then Chilling Control, Sudden Storm. This primarily works, like I was saying earlier, I've kind of gone away from the Sudden Storm and gone more into the Disintegrate for the single targets. So this is really great at your lower level, under 3,000. You definitely want to be using Sudden Storm instead of Disintegrate. Sudden Storm, and so, you know, with that being said, I have Sudden Storms adding 5 stacks of chill. My Icy Terrain adds stacks of chill, and which leads right in here to this. When you activate Icy Veins, when you activate an encounter power, all foes within 15 feet of you have, and I've got it right now at 3 stacks of chill. I'm kind of playing with this because at 6 stacks of chill, I think is the top, you know, the cap. So you don't really necessarily need to go over 6. And if I'm getting 5 here and I'm getting 3 here, I'm already at 8. Icy Terrain is another one that, you know, it gives a lot of stacks of chill real quick. And so they're, and by using Icy Chill, I'm probably getting 3 to 4 stacks off of Icy Chill, plus I'm getting off of this right here. Every time I use my Icy Terrain, I'm getting an extra 3 stacks just off the Icy Veins, and so I'm already, just with 1 encounter power, putting off enough stacks of chill to get my enemy frozen. That's basically what you're looking for. No matter what I fire out there, I will get my 2 stacks of chill within 2 powers. So, you know, 2 encounter powers is going to guarantee you your 5 stacks of chill to get anything you need frozen, or what have you.
and in return it's going to increase the damage you do, right, off of what we picked. So that's what you're looking for. Here, this is kind of where I've gone away from having this one capped out. I've kind of taken a couple away here, knowing that I'm getting chill from everything else I'm doing. I don't really feel the need to have this one maxed, so I popped a couple points up here. Foes who have been frozen take an extra 4% more damage from all sources. I really think this is a huge factor, because I'm keeping my enemies frozen so much. I'm now becoming like a group buff, and so any of my other DPSs running with me, they're going to do an extra 4% damage on anything that I have frozen. And plus, when we went back here, I'm already giving them 3%, so I'm I'm buffing pretty much everyone. And it's, it just goes hand in hand. If you can get them up, you're gonna do better. You're all gonna get through quicker. It's just gonna work hand in hand there. So I do believe we have gone through everything. Ice Knife, of course, is your single target daily. Yeah, and I think we're good to go there. Ray of Frost, another one for they're at will that I kind of use on a secondary, or if I have a single target and I want to get just chill on them, I can just stand here and just I can pick any target I want, and I can just stand back and freeze it, never get close, never worry if the tank's up there, got them. Whatever you can do to get that chill on, get them frozen, get them feats to proc, and get that damage up. That's what we're doing here. So boons, I think, are going to be pretty well self-explanatory. I'm just finishing off Campaign's Thunder. I got a couple more here to get. The rest of them, I'm pretty much done as far as that goes. Still kind of working on some stronghold stuff. But that's a whole nother story in itself right there. So either way, we're getting up there, guild-wise, and able to get a lot more things done. Let's kind of go into some other things I have gone with here. Artificers in your mounts. One thing you want to look at when setting up your mounts. Granted, of course, you always want something that looks cool, and you can pick or ride anything that's doesn't even have to be one of your 5 actives. You just go up here to change mount, and you can ride anything you want. And it really is not going to change anything, but what you do get is you get to pick 5 mounts and use their insignia bonuses for a little bit of extra damage. 5 of the ones I'll recommend for Control Wizard, Artificer's Persuasion. Whenever you use an artifact power, your recovery, movement, action point gain, and stamina are increased by 10% of your power for 15 seconds, which, as you see down there, it's kind of fluctuating with my bondings, but that's 4,000 movement, 4,000 recovery, 4,000 action point gain. Really huge, really huge. Artificer's Persuasion, I'd say a must-have. I'm still kind of going through getting some of my insignias changed over to dominance, kind of the top going thing right now, getting that power and companion influence up. Companion influence, which is going to give your companion additional stats, which in return is going to come back to your player in the form of through your bonding runestones. So it's kind of a puzzle there, but we can get another video out here in a couple days and show you guys the what's best to go there. Also, Assassin's Covenant, you lose 10% of your defense, deflection, and lifesteal
kind of big. But you gain that power as a, gain that combination of lost stats as power. So this was kind of a tough one. I was really kind of scared to go with this one, but once I did, oh man, I'm so glad I did. That 10% defense, I'll teleport out of the way or get some ice down, get them frozen, and do what I got to do for my defense. You are kind of a glass cannon anyway, so it's kind of cutting the ice here. You might want to hold off on and get an Assassin's Covenant until you get over the 3k item level. In which case I would go with something like a Gladiator's Guile that I believe you can get from the Black Stallion, which will increase your movement speed with a full stamina. Kind of a good one to have also as a control wizard. Wanderer's Fortune, of course. I probably will be switching this out for the Gladiator's Guile here soon. I'm kind of getting to the point to where I get enough refinement off my Dragon Horde enchantments and Quartermaster enchantments that I don't really need this anymore. It's just kind of bonus right now. Protector's Camaraderie. Whenever your summon companion attacks, you gain 3% of your power and defense for 10 seconds, and it can stack up to 10 times. So that's, again, whenever we can get our power up, that's the one we're wanting to go for. And Barbarian's Rivalry. Whenever you perform a critical strike, you are healed for 1.5% of your maximum hit points, and that's 1531 right now. And so what you'll see is that I'm getting quite a few crits, right? Yet your AoE critical is not supposed to proc the so-called, and I'm not even saying this, Barbarian Rivalry working right now. Of course, I'm at full health, so that that could be an indication of why I'm not getting no healing. So that's kind of what you want to do, and you can always go through here, if you're a healer or tank and stuff, and go through here and pick your insignia bonuses that you're going to want before you go out and get any mounts. Don't, this pretty expensive game, don't be out there just wasting money unless you have it and can't afford to do so. But me, I would rather, instead of going for something like the Blue Ribbon Pig just for nostalgia purposes, where it has no beneficial thing to it, it's just for nostalgia. But Blue Ribbon Pig was pretty cheap, so what the heck? Let's have something fun in there. And then now we can move on to companions. And for what I run, I think it's Belial's of Etny or something like that. I can't remember her name. It's been a while since I got it, but it comes out of the Scourge Warlock booster pack. And one of the few companions that will increase your critical severity. As a control wizard, we're already kind of been nerfed down on critical severity, and so me, even with this 10%, I'm only sitting at 95% critical severity, where I know some other warlocks and great weapon fighters who are sitting at anywhere from 103 to 115% critical severity. And so, we're already, control wizards are already kind of lacking there, so anytime you can get that crit severity, you want to go for it. Also, the main Arcana I run, right now I'm still running 3 Archons, and I probably will stay with that for a while. I do really like it. Will run the Air Archon over the Fire Archon. You definitely want to have both of these for the active bonuses, increasing your damage. It's just kind of a no-brainer there. You cannot really get no active bonus to compare to these. And as a third Archon right now, I'm still kind of running my Earth Archon, which increases, anytime I'm at full health, I'm doing an additional 4% damage. So there's a lot of times that this is procced, and I'm getting the benefit from it to where I don't really ever notice it because I'm just standing back there at full power, just dishing stuff out. And so this is kicking in and working and doing what it's supposed to do. And I also right now as a fifth, I may change this out for the Wild Hunt Rider or something. I'm still kind of play with them. I like the Yeti. It's a kind of a low chance, and I don't really like the fact that it's a chance to become bloodthirsty at increasing your damage dealt by 7%. But what you do get is you will grow in size when you become bloodthirsty, and so it's very evident when that procs. If you see your character grow almost double the height and he just kind of swells up, you will know that, okay, well, I'm procced right now, so I'm dealing an extra 7% damage, and so you can almost kind of play with that and get your kind of have your daily waiting for, say I know it's coming, okay, there I just grew, let me go ahead and get my daily out, and just kind of keep an eye on it. It's just one of those things, you're not looking for the words to proc up there. With the bafflements, you see a proc there, you're not having to really pay attention, you can kind of just whim it, and it's a lot easier to see your character grow than to spot some words up there in the mix of all your numbers, and so I think that we're pretty good to go there. I do, back to the Archons, I prefer the Air Archon. I think it gets up there with the melee range and does a lot more damage and a lot more amount of attacks than per se the Fire Archon, which is kind of back there by you, kind of just throwing a range shot here or there every couple seconds. Toward the fire, he'll get up there and he'll do a spinning attack, he'll do some beating. He just seems to have more attacks per minute, I guess, if you want to calculate it that way. Which, the more times he attacks, the more chances it's going to proc one of my bonding runestones, my companion gifts. So that's always what you're looking for. Increase. And then on the Air Archons, right now we're running with bonding huge. There is no other runestone that even compares to a bonding right now at this moment. There's just, it's almost kind of too much. These things overpowered too much that it kind of ruined runestones. Nothing else is comparable in any way for them. Bondings are a must-have, and of course getting them up there higher, it's not going to help your item level per se, but you will notice it in damage. Just for me to get these this 11 and 2 10s to 12 will be a huge dramatical increase on my damage. I'm just getting them there, and that will be within the next week or so. This is kind of where I'm turning my attention now. I'll come get these bondings done even before I get my companion to legendary. So yeah, I think we just about covered it all. Boons, pretty self-explanatory. I think you guys will be able to puzzle that together just based off of what you're looking for. You're looking for damage, not defense, so pick accordingly. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Any questions, make sure you leave a comment or like, or tell me what you're looking for, anything I may have missed out. Just don't be shy to just send me a shout out or look me up. Always around to answer things. Always want to see everybody doing better, and want to see everybody working together. So yeah, hope to see you out there. And yeah, till then, good luck. Happy dungeoning.